So I had a client call me this week who's buying a new house, and he asked me whether or not I thought he should put a battery backup in his new home. A new install for the backup, he said, was going to cost him about $400 to $600 on this particular house. So what a great opportunity to talk about sump pumps and battery backups, just generally speaking. So on average, if you live in an area where you get a decent amount of rain and your sump pump runs, you hear it kick on kind of on a consistent basis, I typically recommend that people replace their sump pump every 3 to 4 years, regardless of whether it's failed. Reason being, we want to be proactive. When I moved into my house 3 years ago, I was not proactive. I did not take my own advice, did not replace my sump pump, and it failed. Now, I have a battery backup, and that's kind of a false sense of security in some cases. You could have a battery backup whose batteries are fresh and new, but if your sump fails, it's not going to do a lick of good for you. So I typically recommend that if you do have a sump pump that runs on a consistent basis, that you do replace it every 3 to 4 years. Now, battery backups. If you live in an area where, north of here, there's a suburban area where the power can cut off from time to time, then absolutely you should consider a battery backup. If you live in an area where power outages you're less prone to that, you could consider skipping the battery backup, paying for that extra cost, but being mindful that you should probably just replace the pump every 3 to 4 years. So that's my recommendation. Again, depending on where you live, those recommendations could be subject to change, but definitely something that you want to pay attention to as a homeowner. So this spring, if you haven't gotten your sump pump out of that pit of darkness, consider taking it out, having it cleaned, having it inspected by a plumber to see whether or not it needs to be replaced. Thanks for watching.